This song is called Harm Nobody Else. I wrote this song as a way to heal myself from my childhood that took place in this house. I was abused mentally, physically, from the time I was 3 years old until I was about 16 by my stepmother, who actually legally adopted me. My papa didn't know. Nobody in my family knew because I got that good at hiding it. I didn't say anything about it until last year, and it feels like I can breathe. If you've been through anything like this, I want you to know you deserve to heal. Please find a way to heal. You have one life, and you're here for a reason. That abuse is not your shame. It's not your burden. It's not your secret.
You're listening to WeP3 Radio on the Foxhole Radio Network. Currently playing Amelia Presley. Harm Nobody Else.
See you walking, hear you talking. Oh, I know just what you're wanting. You want me to bow down. Oh no.
Left your left, hey. Left, right, your left. You got it.
Trucker.
Tom Cruise, roll out.
You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
Looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, left, right, your left. You got it.
Truck it on.
Yeah. Hey, this is Andrea Eichmann. There we go. There we go. It's the beginning of our show. This is Andrea Eichmann here with the People's Patriot Project, and we are bringing you our weekly show / podcast called We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. I say Patriot Playtime, but you know what? We actually dropped that. We're doing We Got Your 6 at 6 because these guys, they're not very fun to hang out with. So, yeah. All right, I'm just kidding. Every week we bring you a guest. Many times we bring you a new artist, and then we share all the good and the sometimes not so good things happening in our world. This week, our amazing guests are Joshua Wielden with Pacific Northwest Veterans, and we have music with Mark Ware. You are going to love this show. This show tonight is being sponsored by It's being sponsored by Catch 2 at Derek Iozio, Operation Texas Strong, with Peggy and Bobby Krutzinger. And I just have a real quick link to share with you on that one. They have homed with 197 campers or trailers or RVs. 197 homeless vets have found homes with them through Operation Texas Strong. So thanks, you guys, and keep on doing what you're doing. The Boho Hobos Hideaway with Iozio, and of course, our Kimmer Gwinner. We have Brian Kenzer, who, I don't know, he might still be sailing right now, but he supports us with his business, Smart Living Today. And if you guys are looking to boost up your health and shop at an American-made store, check out his video. I'm going to just post that real quick, too. Check out his store, our store. I don't know. I jumped in and with him as well. If you shop at the store, a portion will also go back to the People's Patriot Project. So it's a little tiny fundraising for us as well. Thank you to our sponsors, our guests, and our viewers. You can also catch our show Sunday evenings at 11 o'clock Eastern Time on Reads Across America Radio. It is the podcast version, and they, so like if you missed last week's, you can catch it tonight before you go to bed. That's 10 o'clock Central. For most of us, Josh will have to share with you. I think it's 2 hours different out there. Shoot. I'm usually much better at that. So you can check it out on Reads Across America Radio, on the iHeart app, the Audacity app, and the TuneIn app. Just search the word Wreath. We would like to get started here as our guests are in the studio. What we would like to do before we get started is have you join us. Stand if you can, put your hand on your heart, and remove your top if it's a hat. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, Lordy, here we go. It is July 14th, 2024, and we are here for We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. I don't know what kind of curveballs I want to throw people tonight, but I'm in a space, folks.
No, follow the notes. We got to follow the notes.
I'm in a space. Give me a break. Let's put everyone where they belong here. You should put me in the corner because that's where I belong. But I don't know. Maybe we've been in the corner too long. Maybe that's what the problem is. Been in the corner too long. Okay. The notes say, Mark, follow the notes. Okay, got it. What do they say? Okay, so let's listen to Jonathan for our news.
All right. So we'll start off with discussing the month of July being Social Wellness Month. It's a period dedicated to raising awareness about the importance of maintaining healthy, positive relationships with the people around you. We would like to encourage everyone to reflect on their social connections and relationships and their overall social well-being. The focus should be on fostering meaningful interactions, nurturing friendships, and building supportive networks with those around you. Coming up later this week, July 16th, is National Atomic Veterans Day. I got the notes messed up on this. July 16th, 1945 was the world's first detonation of a nuclear weapon. It was codenamed Trinity and was conducted by the Army in a desert in New Mexico. Between 1945 and 1962, atomic veterans witnessed around 235 nuclear weapons tests. Due to radiation exposure, many of those veterans would develop serious health conditions. And due to the nature of their assignments, they were sworn to secrecy and could not seek medical care or disability compensation from the VA. In 1966, Congress repealed the Nuclear Radiation and Secrecy Agreements Act that would allow these veterans to open up about their experiences and to file for benefits from the VA. There are approximately 195,000 atomic veterans across the country today. Moving on to more current news. If you haven't been in the corner, as Mark stated earlier, yesterday, an attempt was made on the former President Donald Trump's life at a rally in Pennsylvania. I know we don't talk about politics, so this isn't a political discussion, but there were a few things that kind of caught my attention when I was watching these things on the news. At first, to start off, we'd like to offer condolences to the family of the victim that lost his life, Mr. Corey, and I hope I get this right, but Comparatori. He was a former fire chief, a husband, and a father. Also, one of the things that I reading about this was that he selflessly and successfully managed to shield his family from the danger that was present. So this man put his life on the line for the people that he loved. And also, if you watched it as it happened on stage, you'll notice the reaction of the Secret Service agents and how they immediately surrounded the person that they were there assigned to protect, and basically used their bodies as shields to protect him. And those are the things that I got out of it. When I looked at it, I noticed those almost instantly, because it kind of relates to what we do. And I've recently had a conversation with a friend, and we were talking about service and stuff like that. And there were a couple of veterans, and he was mentioning how, you know, he would gladly lay his life on the line for people that he cared about. And it was brought up that there was the difference between most people, and there are a select few people who would lay their lives on the line for people that they don't know, for a complete stranger. And those are the men and women that bring us here today, basically, that give us the right to enjoy the freedoms that we have. Those that are willing to lay their lives on the line for anyone because of a sense of duty, so that they can honor an oath that they took. So Mr. Corey appeared to live his life as a hero, and he most certainly appeared to have died as one. So, Mr. Corey, hats off to you, sir. And that is it.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you, Andrew, for reminding me to say to the notes, because my goodness, we got to figure it out. We've got to figure it out. We know why we get to do this. We get to come here every week and we get to say our opinions, our thoughts, our ideas. We do it as a team. We collaboratively talk. I've kind of laid, I haven't laid my team to the side, but we've had to take care of some business, and it's all good. We've got to figure it out. Um, there are those who talk about it, and there are those who strap their boots on and go get her done. And again, I'd like to raise the men and women of the Secret Service up for that and what they did in their job and what they are expected to do in their job. Jonathan claims, and he's truth in his statements, is we make zero part of our show, part of our mission, part of our growth as a political conversation or a political agenda or a political anything. I don't care. I don't care what side was on the end of these bullets. I don't care. It's asinine that we sit here and live in a free country that we live in and have to deal with this kind of nonsense. That's my opinion. I want to say, and I've been rehearsing this throughout the day. I want to say, America, you should be embarrassed, but no, that's not the right statement. America, who is 200, less than 300 years old, which we talk about all the time, you have done amazing with the growth you have had in the small amount of time we have had as a country. And those individuals that are not part of the growth, you should be embarrassed. If you're sitting on, and you're not going to hear this message, and it sucks because we talk regularly in one of the industries I'm in about corporate punishment and talking to those and sending messages to those that don't need to hear it. The people that come and listen to our show don't need to hear this message. But my hopes are at some point you will take our message and go put it out there for others to hear. Because we are the beacon of hope. We are the beacon of opportunity. And we are hoping that people will hear our message. I don't want to stand on this platform for a long time tonight, folks, because we have two amazing guests. Thank you for being here tonight, Josh and Mark. We're excited to hear your stories, hear your mission, and see what you're getting done. Thank you for being here, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Mark was the first one to speak, so we're just going to give
The dinger. You get the dinger first.
That was the test. Mark, tell us who you are. Tell us about your service, and tell us what your mission is and what you're getting done, brother.
So, good evening, y'all. My name's Mark Ware, and I'm a full-time music artist. I tour about 60 to 70 dates a year all over the country. My backstory is I did 33 years as a firefighter EMT here in Georgia. Finished as a deputy chief in 2016. Still volunteer at home, but where I'm doing now is I write a lot of songs. And last week we were out in Colorado and got to spend some time with the firefighters out there and the police department out there. But my mission is, speaking on my platform, is I'm really just taking a hold of the mental health crisis, I'm calling it, because just here in Georgia, we've lost way too many. Just last year, I believe the number was just over 300 men and women in public safety that we lost to suicide. And a lot of folks don't even like to say that name, suicide. So it all stemmed from a couple of Christmases ago. I was doing Christmas with my family, and one of my best friends, his mom called and said that he took his life there at the Christmas gathering. I just kept thinking to myself all night, if he needed somebody, why didn't he call somebody? The next day I got up and wrote a song about it. And our tour started as as just trying to get the word out that there is help out there. And so we're just trying to scream it as loud as we can scream. We've got some really big things in the works where we're working with our lieutenant governor here in Georgia the Georgia State Patrol has jumped on board, and in March we're going to do a cruise on Royal Caribbean and give all the money we raise to peer support here in Georgia. I'm going to be with Keith Whitley's son Jesse and Waylon Jennings' grandson Way, and there's 6 or 7 other artists that's agreed that, hey, we're going to jump on this boat and we're going to do some country music all weekend and give back to our men and women who's protecting our butts every day.
That's outstanding. There were a couple names in there that are very familiar to us and have been down in the Nashville world and got to hang with a couple of the dudes. And Mr. Jess Whitley was supposed to be part of our. Do we got a little feedback going on? We good? All right. Sorry. No, I just want to make sure our audio's good. Mr. Whitley was supposed to be part of our WP3 Shock and Awe, and it is, again, it is what it is. And we love being in that space. Thank you for your mission. And we're excited to hear your music and hear the passion in that voice. What part of Georgia you at, brother?
I'm in Monticello, Georgia, which is about 30 minutes north of Macon. So right here in the middle of Georgia.
All right. All right. We've got a very dear friend of ours that runs
Feed
the Heroes Foundation. Thank you. Feed the Heroes Foundation, Mr. Adam Jones, who we got to go spend some time with him and get to hang out down in that space. But again, thank you for being here, Mr. Mark, and we'll hear more from you in a second. Josh, coming at you, same questions, man. It's tell us about who you are, tell us about your service, and what your mission is, brother.
Yeah, so my name is Josh Wielden. I'm up here in Puyallup, Washington, the lovely Pacific Northwest. I grew up here. I joined the Army to travel the world, ended up in Korea and Iraq, and then I got out and ended up in Afghanistan. So I went on that very fancy tour to nice tropical climates. When I got out, I kind of took the mission that I had before I joined the military, finishing my college degree. I used my benefits that I earned from serving, went to college, obtained a degree, and I since then it's kind of been the history. So I worked for the VA here in Seattle for a while, and for the last 6 or 7 years I've been here at Joint Base Lewis McChord, formerly known as Fort Lewis, working with transitioning service members as they transition through that medical retirement process. So what PNW Vets is, it's I was doing some so much outreach focused on homelessness and suicide prevention, where I was thinking, hey, there has to be other veterans that serve their country, maybe went overseas, maybe didn't. They just want to get together with people to have a beer or coffee. So out of that, we made PNW Vets. It's a place for the community to come together and just socialize like we're doing here. And maybe if it's a cold beverage or a hot beverage, whatever your choice is, right? So we invite the entire military connected community, whether it's Gold Star families, Blue Star families, if you're actively serving, come out, learn what this veteran landscape is. Just from hearing Mark's intro, I hope you're connected with Camp Southern Ground. They're part of the Boulder Crest Foundation, and Warrior Path is something that first responders and veterans could partner with. And we're partners here with the Permission to Start Dreaming Foundation here in the Pacific Northwest, where we bring together veterans and first responders. And it's kind of crazy that's the dive we go into, right? So before I joined the Army, I actually fought wildfires here in the Northwest, down in Southern Oregon, for the summer after I graduated, right? So that first responder world, that's where I was kind of, when I separated and became an adult there, my senior year of high school, I was doing that with some of the folks from the fire department. And it's so happens to be, like I told you before the show started, I was in Colorado last summer, actually, when they added those names to the memorial wall there in Colorado Springs. I was out that night with a buddy I was in Korea with, and we met a whole bunch of firefighters from across the country. And my gunner in Iraq, his name's Richardson Tirado. Rico, if you're listening to this, he's a firefighter in Newark, New Jersey right now. So this veteran and first responder community is very, very near and dear to my heart. And I appreciate you guys being here, inviting us out, share what we're doing, and I look forward to talking some more.
I love it. Operation Southern Ground is an amazing organization, funded and promoted by the Zach Brown Band. Those guys go down there and hang out and do that thing. And just, of course, when you get busy in the world of music, no offense, Mark, but the world gets in there and you start dropping names left and right. And that's kind of the fun part of the game, is who knows who in the game of the world of music. But let's face it, music drives. Josh talked about getting together and having a beverage, whether it's hot or cold. It's always awesomerist when there's great music in the background, especially when it's from our veterans and first responders. And there ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of good food in your belly too. So there's a piece to all those. And if you get the chance, this is a great time to talk about WP3 Radio, because we have an all-exclusive veteran and first responder radio station. You can look it up on as simple as WP3 Radio on Google, and it pops up as an internet radio station, exclusively 100% music. We don't talk on it. We don't throw podcasts on it. We might change that format a little bit in the future, but bottom line is, it's just great American music made by the greatest men and women our country who have served our country. Amanda, good to see you, dear. We haven't done our shout outs. Bourbon Battle Buddies is always here with Jonathan. It's awesome. Dylan Petrie in the house. Derek Iazio with Catch 22. Andrea said that as a sponsor, but Derek comes here every week and checks out the show and feeds it to the rest of his network. Jeremy Daniels, good to see you, brother. Keep the mission going, brother. We're with you. And many, many more. We'll do the call outs as we see them come in. Just go through. Jerry Gilmore's in the house from Louisiana. And Travis Partington, Oscar Mike Radio. Good to see you, brother. And his amazing mission with several podcasts, involvement in all kinds of stuff. One thing we find is many of the men and women that come and are part and are involved in the network, they don't know when to quit. They don't know when to stop. They don't know how to say no, I don't think, because you get out there and you watch them in the network and they are constantly busy moving forward and getting stuff done. And that's been the blessing of WP3, the People's Patriot Project. And again, you get to see us live every Sunday at 6 o'clock. It's a real unique branding opportunity when we labeled it. We got your 6 at 6 when you're in Minnesota. We didn't think that necessarily we were going to get a global or national push that we got. I want to let you understand the uniqueness in this, and the fact that we've got someone from the far, far west, and we got someone from the far, far southeast, probably the biggest span of guests we've had. And then you've got our Midwest folk right here in the middle. And we're covering the nation. We're covering the nation, and we are making sure that we're taking care of those who have served. Mark, you got 3 songs up, brother. What song would you like to start with tonight? And give us a quick narrative on it.
We can talk. Let's do It's Gonna Take a Miracle, and how that song took about was not many people get a chance to do music for a living. And I sit here and I'm lucky enough to say I'm in my second round. I got my first opportunity when I was in my 20s, still on shift and trying to work the fire department, and then doing my gigs on my weekends. And we were doing on the same circuit with Al Dean, Travis Tritt, Mark Wills, all before they signed their deals. We were all doing a place up in Atlanta called the Buckboard, and just having fun on Thursday nights doing showcases. And I got invited down to Florida and was just about to sign with Disney. So everything was just going really well for me. And tragedy struck, and I lost my 14-year-old daughter suddenly to a lung complication that she just got from the flu. And to be quite honest, I derailed, went to a dark place and was addicted for a long time. Just wouldn't do music. I kind of associated music with her, and I just took a break and had to get some things situated. And about 7 or 8 years ago, some friends of mine here in Georgia, Collective Soul, the bass player, Collective Soul, Will Turpin, had given me a call and said, "Hey, you know, my dad just passed. He left me the studio, and I want to rebrand it. And I want a country guy. And if you'll come over here and do some music, I'll produce you for free, and we'll send it up to Nashville. We'll see what happens." And so I did, and it's been 1,000 miles an hour ever since. But this song was sent to me. I didn't actually write this song. I kind of redone the song, but this song was sent to me by a dear friend in Alabama while I was going through my trials and tribulations. I was drinking a handle of whiskey every night just to go to sleep. And so I got this song and kind of redone it and sent it up to Nashville, and it's been 1,000 miles an hour ever since. But the song just tells my story, and I hope you enjoy it. It's called "It's Gonna Take a Miracle."
Mark Ware, Going to Take a Miracle.
It's early Sunday morning, and I've been out all night long. Doing things I had no business doing, things I know were wrong. Lord, I know better. I wasn't raised to be this way. So I just pulled over on the side of the road, and I began to pray. Lord, it's gonna take a miracle to help me change these ways of mine. I know you help the lame man walk, and I know you heal the blind. They say you walked on water, you turn that water into wine, oh, into wine. Lord, it's gonna take a miracle to help me change these ways of mine. Lord, it ain't easy for me to lay this old bottle down. 'Cause every time I try to let it go, you see her memory comes around. The Lord knows I'm not happy. I guess I'll never be. Not only did I lose her, I also lost a part of me.
Only through Jesus can you change your ways.
Lord, it's gonna take a miracle to help me change these ways of mine. I know you help a lame man walk, and I know you heal the blind. Say you walked on water, gonna take a miracle to help me change these ways of mine.
That is Mark Ware. It's going to take a miracle. That's all I could. Just you good, brother?
Yeah, we're good. That's just something that I had to learn how to deal with, and that's why I'm so passionate about the mission now. Reaching out to my fellow men and women who've done what I've done. It wasn't what I was doing every day as a firefighter that pulled the trigger all the way, but it did have something to do with how I handled the situation of losing a child. And I tell folks all the time, these men and women in uniform, whether it be the military or whether it be firefighters or police officers, they're out doing what they do every single day and every single night, and then somehow got to come home the next day and play daddy, play husband, play uncle, play granddad, and it's tough sometimes to shut it off. And I just think in my situation, it just really bottled up. I was fortunate enough to save my career. I did. I did 18 years here in the South Metro Atlanta Fire Department. During this, it's going to take a miracle phase, I lost that job. 2 weeks later, I had a friend who pulled my pants up for me, who was the chief in Atlanta, and went in. He hired me for 2 weeks later and just loved on me through it. So I owe him everything for that. His name's Jack McElfish, and he just didn't turn his back on me. And I made it all the way up to deputy chief and finished a 32-long career out of it before we went into music full time. So, I've seen how important it was for our men and women and our brothers and sisters to stick together and to be there for one another. And that's why I'm so passionate about now just getting the word out for our mental health or whatever our men and women may need.
That is, it's amazing that you have found a way to capitalize on the loss of something significant in your life to put that mission into the men and women who have served. And I try in my life not to find ways to spiral, and because I think as men and women, we do a great job of that on our own, finding a way to spiral. What if? And that has been one of my fears in the entire life, and I shouldn't probably put it on the shelf, but at the same time, my children are a little bit older now, but it's just like that's one of the things I don't know if I could come back from that, brother. And I just I appreciate that you found that to be a seed to grow something bigger and better. And our hearts are with you, little brother.
Thank you so much.
The tribute to you and your daughter. Thank you. Emotional gas is what that is, and I'm out. I'm out of gas. Out of gas. Josh, what are you working on right now? What is the pieces that you're putting in play to have people seek you out in your mission? I'll let you say I had some words I was going to plant, but I want to make sure they come out of your mouth before I say them. So you run with it, brother.
Yeah, I'll just jump right in. Mark, my condolences to you and your family, my man. That is some stuff that I never want to experience. It just so happens it gets brought up losing children, right? So I'm very, very close with our Gold Star family network here in Washington State, and being connected with Gold Star mothers here in Washington, it opened my eyes to this whole what that looks like, losing your kids. I have two sons. I have a 10-year-old and an almost 2-year-old, and I couldn't imagine that, right? But I think the song really paints a picture, kind of about my life too, and this journey that I've been on the last few years. My lovely wife got me to go back to church. started going back to church, and I'm a member of the Knights of Columbus here in Puyallup, and it just happens to be that many of the guys that I'm part of the Knights of Columbus with are VFW members as well. So finding that male spirituality, really reaching back into my soul. That was kind of in that same dark place for a while. You know, I drank a lot, and I had a lot of my friends have continued to take their lives and lost some along the way. And I think that male spirituality in today's world is something that we might overlook, and it doesn't come up in conversation. And I know religion and politics are, hey, it's a part of my story, so I'm going to talk about it, right? I find that going to church and being able to have that relationship with the Lord and really connecting your family into that as well is something that needs to be brought up, because that is that additional pillar along with mental health support, right? Processing trauma, getting over those things that happen to you so you could be that best version of yourself moving forward. I think that's huge, right? So it's like just kind of listening to the words, watching the video, taking it in and letting it sink in. I lost my dad and my grandma here a few years back in 2019. And my dad is kind of the reason why I do what I do. He was a Navy veteran, this whole arm, all these tattoos, King Neptune. That's all for my dad. We lost him to MS here in 2019 after a 15-year battle. We connected him. He was connected with the VA. So our family was able to get some of those benefits that our family was eligible for. And I think that's a huge thing. Losing family is another reason why it's important for community, right? So we bring our community together. We set politics aside, we set religion aside, and I'm going to show up as my authentic self to show you that I actually care about you. So if there is that dark time or that time when you need somebody, we're here for you, right? And you got to lean on your people, whether it's you guys here that I'm just meeting for the first time, Mark, right? Or anybody that's listening. We're there for each other. I know one of my cousins always used to tell me that blood is thicker than water. When I call, you better answer, right? But I think that water could be kind of thick. You know, you don't have to be family to find family. And I've been able to do that here in Washington, and I've made this veteran community it is my family. So that's what we're doing is really setting community as the pillar to your family, right? So I just appreciate that song. I appreciate being here, and that is the mission: is to really connect our community for those dark times. You know, for those times that we need to have somebody to lean on. I don't know if that answered your question, Mark, but that's what was in my heart. That's what I was thinking. So that's what we went with.
Hey, it's the answer that needed to be heard tonight, and that's one of the things that we get really excited about. Is regardless, we don't script our show, and that's why we also don't pre-record our show. We let it go live, we let it go fresh, we let it come from the heart, and we appreciate everyone and their point of view and how they deliver it. And there's just so many nuances that come into that play there, and just the fact that Mark had someone who stepped up and, although knew there was a flaw in his life, picked him up, pulled his pants up, and didn't ostracize him because of the flaw. He embraced him because of the struggles he was going through, the relationship they had. And I think that's the awesome piece of the network. And again, Josh, thank you for bringing your network to our network. That's the only way in my mind when we develop the People's Patriot Project that this will work, is that we lay ourselves on the shelf and put the mission in front and go get them and bring them all the way home. All of our brothers and sisters, all those that are struggling with, it doesn't matter if it is PTSD. We don't use PTSD in our network. We use post-traumatic growth because there's an opportunity to grow regardless where you're at. It doesn't matter if it's military sexual trauma. It doesn't matter if it's alcohol. It doesn't matter. I mean, I lost a dear brother to alcoholism. A guy that was supposed to be the best man at my wedding. He was busy out running a nuke ship, and after he transitioned and got back in the world, dealt with, and it's a piece that I couldn't help him with, anxiety after transitioning from the Navy. And alcohol was the vice that grabbed him, and his peers and his friends and his buddies and his brothers didn't see it soon enough. And there's just a gigantic pool, and that's why we are excited about joining and connecting all the networks that we connect, because we call it a tackle box. Some people call it a toolbox. Tackle box works for us because we're trying to catch everything in the pool, and everyone comes with a different bait, something that is intriguing. And we're going to continue to do that, continue to bring boots on the ground organizations into play, and make sure that we are finding new ways. We talk about the VFWs and the legions, and how the old school narrative is the little 7-ounce glasses of beer, everyone's sitting around a smoky bar room, and that's not necessarily this generation's bait. But I tell you what, good music, good food, maybe a cold or warm beverage in there, and camaraderie, knowing that someone's got your back, knowing that someone's got your six, knowing that there's someone on the other side of the line. That's where we'll find our growth. Miss Eichmann.
Yes, sir.
This is my chance to kind of throw you under the bus a little bit. Not on purpose. But usually Miss Kimmer has a little note of inspiration through poetry. Do we have that tonight?
You might have noticed I'm not in my actual office. Can I look? Will you give me a minute to look?
I can. We can.
Hey, I could fill a minute when she's looking for it.
Do it, Josh.
All right.
Yeah,
so we touched on that. We touched on that American Legion and that VFW being drinking and having a smoky bar, right? So I'm the chaplain of my VFW right here, the largest VFW in the state of Washington. And I've been a member of the VFW since my dad talked me into joining it here, 2007. Guess I was just going to Iraq, and I joined the VFW, and I've really connected. We've through the VFW, it's our platform. It's the platform to do what you want. If you want to have a concert, invite a musician out. We're going to have some live music, karaoke, bunco, Texas Hold'em, whatever you want to do, right? That stigma, that negative stigma that's attached to these older generation VSOs is something that it grinds my gears a little bit on the inside, right? So those veteran service organizations are a prime example of why many of us that served might have service-connected disabilities. They're the reason that's a thing, right? So like you can get paid by the VA for these disabilities that were incurred or aggravated on active duty. A lot of times, the VFW and American Legion, Wounded Warrior Project, these are the organizations that are the reason that's possible, right? So if we just pause and think about it, I know on the first of every month, there's a lot of veterans that get that money deposited into their account, and that impacts the way they raise their families. That changes their lives, right? So I think that kind of changing that narrative to say, hey, it's a cross-generational connection that you can make with those guys that are maybe drinking that beer, or we don't smoke here in Washington inside bars, so maybe they're sitting outside having a cigar or something. But I think it's very important to recognize those organizations for laying that framework for these other organizations to come around. And I'm a proud member of the VFW, and that's why, is because my dad found his belonging when he couldn't work. It was at the VFW. It was at the American Legion, Fleet Reserves, the Paralyzed Veterans of Americas, who helped our family when it came down to some of those benefits that we're entitled to. So I know I filled my minute, but that's my little soapbox that I proudly stand on. I support all these veteran organizations. Like I saw somebody mention equine therapy. I drove an hour and a half yesterday, and I talked to some wonderful ladies up in Snohomish County that are doing some great work with some horses right here in Washington. I think that we had the VFW and them together it's really that platform. So when we think about those smoky rooms or those beers or whatever they're drinking, hey, it might be that platform that somebody needed. And like, I haven't drank beer since 2017 because I just drink scotch and whiskey now, but I don't drink beer. But hey, I'm not beyond meeting somebody at a brewery or I don't even drink coffee. If you want to meet at a coffee shop, let's meet up. Let's have that conversation. But like I said, I'll get off my little soapbox, but that's where I got to go because we got to show love to the generation that came before us.
That's why we do this on Sundays, and that we've committed to making sure organizations and boots on the ground influencers have a voice. And then we come back on Mondays and we share that same message again, but then we share the mission of the People's Patriot Project on Mondays at 4:30. You'll hear more about that here in a second. But Josh, this is your platform tonight, brother. You get to say what you want, when you want, how you want. And we celebrate it. So thank you. It's an amazing message, and it's amazing reality that there are. That's the great pieces. I don't think we do enough of celebrating those that are doing. Again, another purpose of the We Got Your Six show is that it is strictly a positive message, strictly all about those that are getting it done. We don't sit and bitch and complain about the things that aren't getting done, because if they aren't getting done, then we ain't doing enough. And so get off the couch, get off your butts, do something. It is part of our call to action. Our call to action continuously is, what are you doing? And, our network's full, and we got a bunch of doers in here. Let's make sure that we're reaching out to our brothers and sisters who need to hear the message. And you know what? Maybe they're not ready to be the doers, but they have to hear the message first, and then we'll get them walking tomorrow. And then next week they'll be running and creating that progress. Mark, what are you working on right now, brother?
So we're rat slap in the middle of a tour. We just got back from Boston, Massachusetts, and then we was out in Colorado, and then I'm home in Georgia for a show at Truett's Park Tuesday, and then leave Wednesday for Clearwater, Florida. So we're right in the middle of a tour right this second.
Did you say you're in Colorado?
We were in Colorado yesterday, but I'm back in Georgia today.
Oh, you're rotten sock. Okay, got it. We got some good friends in Colorado, and the musician as well, C.W. Wooten, good country singer, amazing. Comedian Chad Hutto in that space. We got a couple other Coloradoans. My brain is fried from some of my recent activities, and I'm not on my A game tonight, but Andrew's supposed to be here to fix that. But
I know. Is Lowell Becker?
Colorado as well.
What's that?
Comedian Rodney Norman.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Rodney Norman's from Colorado as well. Yes.
And what about Lowell Becker? Was Lowell Becker from Colorado too? Musician?
We can jump on that research here.
Remember he made such a funny joke. You were like, "Where's your band?" And he's like, his first name is Low. He made a Low joke. I don't remember it. But anyway, I knew you were going to get this, Jeremy Daniels, because you started with the walking and you went to the running and you forgot about the rolling.
Rolling.
Let's be rolling.
Rolling. Yes. Jeremy Daniels, thank you, brother, for your reminder, and that not all veterans and first responders have a foot or 2 feet for that matter. And we appreciate you and your sacrifices, brother. Thank you so very much. I see a note here. I don't want to have any dead air here, but Miss Eichmann's ready with her poem.
So this one will be in our newsletter this month too. So it's fitting to share it. And this one comes from Derek Iozio from Catch 22. And the title is I almost turned 22 today. I almost turned 22 today. It's not what you think. No, not the usual way. There was no cake, no candles or gifts. Demons showed up. they wanted to take, they wanted to stay to celebrate their day. The game of life they tried to play. I tossed, I turned, I tried to ignore what they say. It was me they wanted to slay. They almost won. Their victory was near. But at the right time, I called on a peer. Those demons seem mighty and bold. They can't be beaten is what I'm told. I was given some renewed strength because my peer will go to any length and spoke those words I needed to hear. Stay in the fight. Your victory is near. We can defeat those demons. I am your peer. Covered with sweat, my skin has glistened. But my peer is here, and they listened. They heard my cries and my doubt. They listened until I got it out. Then my peer stood by me near and whispered confidently in my ear, when you find yourself in this fix, remember your peer. We got your six. You see, it isn't the day of my birth. I will live another year on this earth. Those demons, they wanted me to be a statistic, the 22, you see. So just for today, I will not turn 22. And I want you to hear, my words are so true. The world is better because of you.
Derek Iozio, thank you for your amazing words. Thank you for your amazing mission. And thank you for all the things you do with peer support and Catch 22. We appreciate you, brother. That message was amazing.
Yeah, and we'll just give some knuckles because I like these tattoos, and I'm just going to show you it's right there. Like, give me some.
Get it.
Yeah, that was timing. Timing was everything on that.
Yeah. Mark, what song you want to go with next?
So we can play Shooting Whiskey, Killing Time. Where that song came from when I first signed my record deal, my second deal about 2 years ago. I was in a campground in my bus in Nashville, Tennessee with a songwriter friend of mine, Mr. Brian Martin. We would just come off tour in Mexico together. And I was just telling him a little bit about my story. And through me telling him my story, talking about, losing basically everything I had, to my job, to my family, to, went through a divorce, my friends, just losing everything. All I was left was just shooting whiskey and killing time. So during that time of us sitting on the bus, we wrote this song, and I'm managed by a company out of Nashville that Colt Ford owns. And we were headed to the studio the next day to record one before I come home. And we shot him a little bit of it. And he said, "What time are you going home?" I said, "About 9:30 or 10. He said, "Hang out for a couple more hours. I want to record that song." So we re-recorded it in Nashville, and I'm happy to say we've had about 350,000 streams on it. So it seems like some folks are able to relate to it, but it's called Shooting Whiskey, Killing Time.
This is Mark Ware. Like he said, shooting whiskey, killing time.
Late one more night, just me and my songs. Takes all I got to right all these wrongs. Every time I turn around, I see the bottle on the floor, reminding me it's empty and I need a little more. Even if it takes my last dime, I'll be shooting whiskey, killing time. There's no one left here to run to. Life's given me more than I can take. It's getting even harder to walk in my own shoes. Even harder, keep the faith. No one said living was easy. Never said it'd be this hard. It don't take much me. It's always been just this guitar, trading in my pain for another ride. I'm just shooting whiskey, killing time. There's no one left here to run to. Life's given me more than I can take. It's getting even harder to walk in my own shoes. Even harder to keep the faith. No one left here to run to. Life's given me more than I can take. It's getting even harder to walk in my own shoes. Even harder to keep the faith. Paid my dues living out these lives. Still got a lot I can't leave behind. I'll be shooting whiskey, killing time.
That is Mark Ware, Shooting Whiskey, Killing Time. I think I found my collaborator here. There's a song that I've been working on for a while called Bourbon Slow Dance, and I think I found the guy that can put her out there. I mean, we got a bunch of people that I'm a baby. I'm a baby. Fuck, whatever. I almost just said the F word. Gosh,
Oh my gosh, I thought I actually heard it. Whew. Where you been working?
I don't know if I've got one of those ever. I need more sleep is what I need. It's good. Thank you for your craft, brother. It's amazing. We did have some people mention they're familiar with your network a little bit, but Mr. Lance Price, how's Colt feeling? Hope all is well. Much from Still Foxtrot here. I could say it, couldn't I?
I mean, it's a name. I always say title. So
yeah. Are any of your seventh graders listening right now?
Possibly.
Yeah, Still Fucking Here is the organization. Love them to death. Thanks, guys, for your mission down there and what you're getting done. I believe they're in Nashville this week. Isn't that?
Was it Nashville, Jonathan, or was it? I just talked to Brian. Yeah, they're somewhere.
Yeah. We've done our
own
show.
I got something wild about Nashville. Right,
let's do it, bro.
So I went to Nashville a few years ago with an organization called The Mission Continues, and we did a cleanup a park downtown. And so I liked it so much that I wanted to go back for my birthday. Last year we went to Nashville for my birthday, and it just happens that a guy I played high school football with, his name's Court Carpenter. He was playing at the 1230 Club when we went to the Thomas Rhett concert. So I got to see his dad was there. He was my football coach in high school in Kelso, Washington, and Court was there singing. And so it's been 20 years since I was in high school, right? And it was just random that he was performing the night that we were in town, and right there next to Hattie B's, my favorite place in Nashville. Just so you know. And I said the name Rhett. So the little guy just got home, and his name's Rhett.
Oh, so. Nice. Nice.
There it is.
That's a small world story. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That is very cool. Nashville, you run into people. You muted yourself, Peterson. still
Hey,
mute.
make sure to cut all that dead air out there. Okay.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, I got you.
Mark, I bet you spent a minute in Nashville.
Yeah, when we're not out on tour, I kind of split my weeks between Georgia and Nashville because there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. So I'm there a lot.
What's your favorite venue in Nashville?
I kind of like Live Oak. Live Oak's kind of my favorite. They're on Music Row.
Yeah,
I told
yeah.
you, I was there right before the tour started, and I just got finished doing a singer-songwriter night little gig and went to pay my tab, and Aaron Lewis is standing there paying his tab. So it's really cool to have that's where all the artists kind of hang out there on the back streets on Music Row. So it's pretty cool. But I like the Live Oak. I try to go there at least 5 times when I'm there.
Nashville is that place where the next thing you do, you just look up and you've got somebody that is getting stuff done. We did a set in our Nashville takeover at Tin Roof, and the next thing you know, Chris Young is standing there, which was nice and all. Me and Andrea got the chance to host the red carpet at the Grand Ole Opry, and it just reminds me. I think we should lift William Golden up of the Oak Ridge Boys. He lost his son this last week, and also lost their lead singer to the Oak Ridge Boys. So lift those families up. Thank you, Mr. Golden, for the things you do. You've done gigantic Mount Everest movements for the industry, and so thank you for his family and all that. Wow, emotional cloud. We've done our hour show. I don't think we're done
Well,
yet.
real quick, I wanted to throw this in too before we got out, but because I'm working on something, it's not going to be this release. This release, I've got Just As I Am and a song I wrote to my son, who's 23. Basically, just says, "Hold on to my last name and carry on." But it's going to be released on the 19th of this month, an A and B. But after that release, we're going to release "Walk Alone" that I spoke about earlier. And I just wanted to share the second verse of that song to you guys that came to me. And it says, "There's a whole lot more like us out there. We're heroes on the line. Many want to save us and help us to survive. Let's all just band together because even heroes need a lifeline." And so we're going to release that "Walk Along" with the firefighter anthem as a side B right after this next release. So I'd love to get it to you guys and y'all share it with every community that you work with because it just has a very strong message in there. And if we can save one, man, we've done our job.
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't know, man. I get weird sometimes during the show, and it's like you're speaking right to me right now, brother. And it's like, it's thank you for those words. That's every hero. Yes,
Every hero needs a lifeline.
Absolutely. We're going to touch on that when we get into our closing tonight because it's also part of our call to action and reaching out to our brothers and sisters. But our I guess I'd say our second to final segment is what are we going to get done? Where are we going next? That's our next one. We'll start with Josh. Where are we going next, brother? What's up next?
Yeah, so man, there's so many things. I'm currently in my graduate school. I'm getting me an MPA, so I know that keep furthering my education because my wife and my mom and my sister they all have masters. So I figured I need to join the club, you know. But it's cool because you kind of asked where we were currently a little bit ago, and I mentioned how the PNW Vets Network we've grown. We're from Canada halfway down through Oregon, and we have county meetings coming up this next week. Pretty much along the I-5 corridor that whole way through the Northwest. But this last month, besides starting my master's program, I went with the Travis Manion Foundation back to Philadelphia. I also joined a new organization that kind of it's really fitting for this the first part of the show, how we opened up, and of course what happened yesterday. In this organization is called More Perfect Union. So I'm now a Brickyard chapter leader here in Washington State, and More Perfect Union is just that. It's creating this community, creating those conversations. And when they do go into the politics, right, we're redirecting that conversation to what can we do local? What can you do in your local community to make that impact? So I'm going to start here at a little coffee shop right down the road from my house, just having a coffee club and really kind of looking into that civic minded attitude, right? So get out there, exercise your civic duty as a patriot, right? As a citizen of the United States. And More Perfect Union was founded by some veterans, and that's what we did. We were able to go to the University of Montana. We were able to learn their mission, kind of do some community mapping, and continue to grow our network. Garrett Cathcart is actually down there in Atlanta, Georgia. I think he went to Georgia Tech after he did some time there at West Point and in the Army. But it's a very noble cause, and the reason why I've taken and jumped right into this organization is that it's for veterans and non-veterans, right? So like often I find myself, as you guys have heard, in this VFW space, in the veteran space, but who are we before we join the military or before we join this first responder community? We're just civilians in our local community, and that's where we end up when we leave the service or we retire from being a first responder. So I think it's very important to bring the whole community together for that conversation, and it's not political by any means, but it's about what's that impact you're going to have in your local community. And I just had to talk about that because I'm going to be building this brickyard out here in Puyallup, and I'm really looking forward to that, continuing to grow my network of veterans and non-veterans alike through my education and some civic duties.
You are so appreciated, brother. Holy cow, we got a surprise guest tonight.
Yeah, y'all, this is Brim.
Nice to meet you, Brim.
Say hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Nice. What are you munching on there, buddy?
So we got some peanut M&Ms.
There ain't anything better than a good peanut M&M.
Are you eating Papa's peanut M&Ms you bought me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
there you go.
Are you going to share one of those with him?
You want to share one with me? Thank you.
That's probably the best M&M that you've ever had right there.
That's right. He's my saving grace right here. This is Brim. He's a great drummer, too. He's a great drummer. There's his drums.
Nice.
See it, but there's a song on him, too. So if y'all want to hear about Brim, just look on YouTube or Apple Music and just pull the song up, Brim. He actually went to Nashville and recorded some little tidbits in the song saying, "I love my Papa."
Oh,
nice.
We need to make sure that we get all of your catalog onto WP3 Radio so everyone gets to hear that in that space. So absolutely outstanding. What's next for Mark Ware?
So luckily we're home this weekend because we're doing a big show Tuesday for the Southeastern Fire Chiefs Association in Atlanta. So I got to come home and spend the weekend with family and get ready for a show here at home. And then Wednesday we'll wake up and head to Clearwater, Florida. And then we're out in Texas after that. And then I think we leave Texas and get on a boat on Royal Caribbean. And hopefully we're going to raise a lot of money, y'all, and raise a lot of money. Hope a lot of people buy a lot of cabins and just spend the weekend with us artists. We're going to sing karaoke with them, play poker with them, hang out at the pool with them, and just let them get to know us and we get to know our fan base. But more importantly, we're just trying to raise money to give back to the men and women who, again, protecting our butts every day. And that's what we got coming up.
How can you find this particular cruise? Where does it leave out of? It's in March, you said, right?
Yeah, it's in March. It's 25. I can send you a link, Andrea. I'll send you a link and let you share it. It's going to leave out of Port Canaveral. It's a Friday to Monday. So it's a shorter cruise. So it should be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to it. But we're just working on music, man. We're grinding every day, and I'm blessed to be able to get to do what I love to do, and I love to stand and tell my story and share my music and the talents that I feel like the good Lord above gave me, my songwriting ability, and just seeing and hearing the comments from our fan base. Hey, your song helped me through the night. That's what I'm after. I'm not after the dollar. I think I can make it the rest of my time with my pension with the fire department, and I'd be just as happy. But I'm just after those comments, and I'm after saving one at a time.
I don't know how to say this more because the men and women who decide to strap the boots on just give, give, and they don't know when to stop. They don't know how to stop. Again, we got something we want to do. We're gonna
There's a
invite.
song.
What's that?
There's a song in that.
There is much song. Maybe next summer. Maybe next summer we'll hear that song.
Anything that I can do, or my camp can do. Hey, Brim, just a second. Not anything that
you own the rights to that music. Let's get it.
That's right. Anything that I can do for any of you guys' communities or organizations that you're working with, I'll give you my management's number. He already knows when somebody's called and they're connected to the military or the public service folks. We do whatever we could do to make it happen. So y'all, please reach out if you know of anybody in need. We don't have much, but what we do have, we share.
Do you like boats?
Going on a cruise.
Yeah, I got a boat right there that I'm probably gonna take Mama for a ride on here before the sun goes down.
I love it. So if you got time, we want to get your last song out. We'll do our final segment but we'd like to have a little collaboration time at the end if you have time. If you got to get going, we completely understand. We don't hold anyone captive. Let's get your last song there. What? Tell us about it.
So, not to even bring this up because it sounds like I'm just all about a big sad story, but y'all, it's just my life. But again, I told y'all I went through a divorce. And at the time, I was raising a 15-year-old son here on the lake by myself, and I met this pretty little blonde out here on the lake. And so we started dating 3 or 4 weeks. I guess we was into just dating and having a good time. And my partner at the fire department called me on the cell phone, and we had some friends over about to load up the boat and said, "Hey, you still seeing Kim?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you need to take her up to the hospital. Her daughter's just been killed on the interstate." And I was like, "Man, you got to be kidding me. I got to go through all this again." First thing I wanted to do was run, to be honest. I was like, "Look, I can't do this again, having all the kids come over from school." But I really think God put her in my life, because at that point I was strong enough to help deal with it. She never went home since that day. We buried her daughter 6 inches from my daughter, and we've grew to just love and respect one another like no other. And so this fun song came about, and I released it. I really didn't think that much was going to become of it, but it happened to go #1 on Music Row on the charts. And so we're about 3 weeks off of the charts now. It stayed on the charts for 10 weeks, but it really helped our tour. It got our prices up. It just really it done a lot for us. But the song's called "I Can't Touch You," and it's basically all about her.
Oh man,
it's a fun song though.
We appreciate you, man. And these songs don't happen without those life impacts and sadly trauma and pieces, but we appreciate you. This is Mark Ware, Can't Touch You.
Drink, I can throw a few down, I can light one up, put it out, stop when it's time, call it a night, and never cross that line, its way to the floor. No, I can't touch you without losing my mind. Coming unglued, girl, it happens every time. No, I can't touch you. I can feel the heat coming off your skin. You always light my fuse and melt me down, and then I'm as good as gone, good for nothing but loving you all night long. No, I can't touch you without touching you more. Helping your dress find its way to the floor. No, I can't touch you without losing my mind. Coming unglued, girl, it happens every time. No, I can't touch you. No, I can't touch you. I can step on stage 20,000 strong and never miss a beat and rock 'em all night long. I can keep my cool down to that last word, never crash and burn. No, I can't touch you without touching you more. Helping your dress find its way to the floor. No, I can't touch you without losing my mind. Coming unglued, girl, it happens every time. No, I can't touch you without touching you more. Helping your dress find its way to the floor. But I can't touch you without losing my mind. Coming unglued, girl, it happens every time. No, I can't touch you. No, I can't touch you.
Okay, see what pop up.
That is Mark Ware. I can't touch you.
That was very fun.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.
Come on up here, buddy.
So this comes to the part of our show where we hope there is a little bit of inspiration in your life, a little piece or a little seed of something that was planted. Our goal is always that our version of us tomorrow is better than the version of us today. It is always a constant opportunity to grow. And typically we let Jonathan kick off this last segment in what's your closing thoughts, brother?
Well, we forget everything I planned to talk about tonight. I think after everything's said and done after this show, man, if you don't realize that whatever the trauma, whatever the tragedy, whatever the happenstance that happens to happen to you, if that makes any sense, there's always an after to the story. There's always a more to the story. So these things happen, and it can lead to. I keep hearing this: heroes don't get built from living easy lives, right? They have to go through something that changes their fiber, their entire being, and the trauma and the things that we go through, they can turn our story into great stories, or they can turn into apparently fantastic songs as well. So, Mark, I thank you for sharing everything and all the trauma that have happened in your life, the stories with us tonight, the songs that come from the stories. It's a blessing to be around people that have survived and made it through. Right?
Thank you
It
so
gives
much.
us the strength to continue on. So, thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Josh, you brought up some things that up until recently I just found out myself, and that a lot of people, younger generation, my generation type people. You don't see too many of them in veteran organizations, VFWs and things like that. But there's a very important part to that you brought up, that the VFW is one of the main organizations that is out there fighting for the benefits that everyone's trying to grasp, and the futures of veterans getting out of the military and changing the programs and all of that. These guys are going up to Washington and they're fighting on the state levels and everything else so that they can make significant changes in the way things are happening for us veterans. So get out there, show them support. If you see a fundraiser that's got VFW attached to it, feel free to support it. It's going to us. It's going to you. And that's one spill for tonight.
Josh, what's your final thoughts, brother?
My final thoughts are, I have that little boy that's almost 2 years old that just ran away from here, and we got is this Brim on here with us.
That's right.
We owe it to these young men, right? We owe it to these young men to get out and change the way our community is going to be. We owe it to them 100%, right? And that's all I can say is just get out, show your kids, show the next generation that America is the greatest place in the world, and we got to do what we got to do every day to make sure that there's a tomorrow for them, right? And that's what I'll try to do. That's what I urge everybody that's listening to this. We gotta make this the best country in the world, because that's what it is.
That's right, Josh.
Man.
Yeah.
Miss Eichmann.
Okay. I was gonna go get a popsicle before I started because it looks kind of yummy over there.
Yeah, he's took a popsicle bath.
And mine dripped his all over the floor right under my feet. So
well, I just wanted to, so I took some key pieces out. When Josh said you don't have to be family to find family. And so as the civilian in the group here, that is something that amazes me time in and time out, that the brotherhood, the establishment, the sisterhood, the kinship that is built is amazing. It's amazing to me. And I get it. I wish I had more of a part of it. And you're right. Water can be very darn thick. So when you find it, you got to hold on to that one. And then every hero needs a lifeline. I just guess that's why we're here every week doing this. Yeah, you're right. Every hero needs a lifeline. And I don't know. I guess I was getting a little emotional. I think in retrospect of everything that happened, it's weird to watch things like that happen right on TV, right? As you're watching. And then I can't tell you, every time they showed it again and again and again, I'm not watching for the blood. I was watching the just immediate quickness of the response teams. You guys, that was just amazing. They huddled around. I'm sure they're concerned about what's behind their back. That's not their job. That's not their duty. That's not what they signed up to do, is worry about their own back. And so that takes a big heart, a big person. And then what we see is everybody after they serve, the 99.8% of the people we meet want to give back. And that's why they're doing what they're doing, whether it's music, whether it's groups, whether it's ministry, it's all to give back. And that's huge. That is so meaningful. Can't thank you guys enough. Tonight was just, you two both were tugging on my heartstrings. And I think it's just the energy and the caring and the love in the room here, the virtual room. So thank you. Thank you for a great night here. We do have a couple guests next week. Mitch Mackey is coming in to talk about Vietnam War involvement. And then we are going to have a guest musician, Chris Turner, will be stopping in. He's got a new song he needs to share with all of us. So don't miss that next week. Same time, same place. Dang, I have a feeling we'll be seeing Josh on here again. I bet we'll see Mark Ware again. You can't let go of those that our missions, our lines, everything is so similar. So thanks again, Josh, for being here tonight. And Mark, wherever you went, I have a feeling his phone died. This thing sucks the life out of phones. So
Oh no.
yeah.
Oh well. Not oh well. It's I wanted to hear his final words and share a little bit more with him. But again, I think the name of our show, because we always name it after the fact, is Every Hero Needs what?
A lifeline.
We have been so blessed tonight, and in light of tragedy and the fact that sometimes, and I hate saying it, we got Mr. Ware coming back. So I'll shut up for a second and let him. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. Who's doing it? I got it.
No, I got it.
Fix our screen again. We got everyone in the wrong spots all over again.
He plugged his phone in. It's okay.
That's it. This StreamYard and being live just zaps the energy or right out of it. It is what it is. But we're now stumbled on to your final thoughts, Mr. Ware.
Well, I would just I appreciate the opportunity to come on and speak tonight. And Josh, I enjoyed your words. I love everything that you're doing. And I just going to make mine simple. Just like, look, whatever we can do as a team, we're better together. Well, no matter which party you stand on, which side you stand on, we're all Americans, and we're all better together.
I appreciate you. I've read comments of organization after organization and organization. And bottom line is we can do better, folks. All of us can do better. And again, our focus is that tomorrow the version of us should be better than our version today. And don't get sucked into it. Build it and grow it. And know that you're doing it with your heart, not with your emotion. Before Mr. Ware came back on, we decided, I don't know if we decided, I decided that the name of this show is Every Hero Needs a Lifeline. And it is a piece that is critical to our mission. This is our call to action. Our first call to action is, what are you doing? Find something to do. Get involved. Do something above yourself. To serve is therapeutic. That is why the majority of us have chosen to serve at one capacity or another. And I know that when I was on my fire teams, even though I was working, in the AMs at some point when I didn't want to be working in the AMs, knowing that I was serving and protecting life and property gave me a purpose. And that moved into the People's Patriot Project. The People's Patriot Project is a purpose that helps others, and we'd like everyone to be part of this team, a part of this organization, and moving things forward. Everyone's got a device. We've got some men and women who come on and they want to do push-ups and to bring recognition and do their 22 push-ups. We got some that go and hike their 22 miles or less or more or whatever and carry their rucks and in honor and memory of those who have served and we've lost. All these are great things. I know that there's some people that come on and chastise those that doesn't do a thing. Well, if you've got something of that narrative where you say that's not doing a thing, then my question is, again, back to our first call of action. What are you doing? We all have a chance to make a difference. It's not a challenge, it's a call to action. So we're not challenging you, we're telling you to do this. Get busy. Text, I was just thinking about you, brother or sister, in your phone or device right now. Copy it and paste it into 6 conversations. Sorry, not sorry. It is telling your friends, your peers, your comrades, your brothers, your sisters that you're thinking about them. Everyone back in the day used to love to get a letter in the mail. I'll tell you what, man, the most important thing that got me through basic, AIT, and any type of deployment or involvement in the world was getting a letter from someone that cared about me. Well, today's the world of texting. Send a message and just saying, I was just thinking about you. Now, we're bold enough to say that it doesn't have to be about military or veterans or first responders. It's anyone in your contact list, because we do know that we have people suffering in all facets of life. Yes, our primary mission is veterans and first responders. So we are going to first. That's our nature. That's what we're doing. That's who we serve. But reach out to your brothers and sisters. I always throw the caveat on in the end, and I say, challenge yourself to have that one hard, difficult, uncomfortable conversation with that brother and sister you have lost contact with because of a misunderstanding, because someone got butt hurt in some part of their life. Reach out to that person. We jokingly say it doesn't have to be an ex-wife or ex-husband or anything like that, but do reach out to someone that it's a difficult, hard conversation. It makes you a better person. We appreciate our guests that are on here tonight. If you got time to hang for a couple of minutes after, we like to do a little post-show collaboration talk. Again, we come here on Mondays, every Monday at 4:30 for the WP3 Weekly Debrief. Go out and check out WP3 Radio. If you get the chance, go and subscribe to the People's Patriot Project YouTube channel and fill your life with things that make you feel good. And serving makes you feel good. We appreciate everyone that's been here tonight. Thank you for all the people that commented tonight. We appreciate you. You see you, and we will always have you in our thoughts. Thank you, Lance Price, at the end. Never stop growing. You're special. Much Patriot Pride.